Lexus is a brand that seemingly ignores car enthusiast demands. The company seems to care very little about enthusiast demands like manual gearboxes, boosted engines, or more modern design changes. Yet despite this, Lexus bolsters a loyal, growing community of die-hard fans. How does that even work? How does a company that ignores their younger audience's demands and interest still carry a good following among that demographic? Let's take a look at it. But before we start looking into the enthusiast side of things, let's take a look at Lexus as a brand, just a car brand. Lexus has been consistently praised for its exceptional reliability and customer experience. Longtime owners often highlight reliability as the main reason they remain loyal to the company. For example, the Lexus LS was one of the top-selling flagship luxury sedans in the US for most of its early years, and dominated dependability studies across multiple outlets, including J.D. Power and Consumer Reports. Lexus, or technically its parent company Toyota, are to no surprise doing just fine. While Toyota doesn't break out any Lexus-specific profits publicly, analysts estimate that Lexus often contributes a disproportionately large share of Toyota's US profits, sometimes nearly half despite its much smaller volume. So it's relatively safe to say Lexus's decisions to not prioritize enthusiast interest aren't because of financial restrictions, which tend to be the ultimate decision factor when it comes to enthusiast models. If a company doesn't have the available funds, or rather, can't justify putting funds towards an enthusiast project, they usually just don't do it. And even though there's still cost associated with it, why not just give a little more on their more average consumer-driven models? Why not just build a V6 rather than a turbo inline-4? And again, I know there's of course additional cost associated with it. Would it hurt their margins that much? Lexus has always prioritized comfort, customer experience, and long-term reliability over chasing enthusiast trends. This focus on what matters to 90% of luxury buyers comes from a clear strategic vision: hospitality and craftsmanship over gimmicks. When Lexus does go enthusiast level, they tend to go big, but that's rare. Take a look at the LFA, or even better, its newly released successor, the LFR, a twin-turbo V8 hybrid supercar aimed at signaling that Lexus prioritizes meaningful performance statements. When Lexus does deliver a true enthusiast vehicle, it almost always becomes a much-appreciated icon among those who know. Take the ISF or LC500, for example. Despite still relatively easy to get into nowadays, the LC500 is already said to be a future classic. For many car enthusiasts, Lexus lacks edge, but for others, its unwavering reliability, rare nature, and customer-first approach build a deeper kind of loyalty and appreciation. So, does Lexus even care about enthusiast demands? In a way, yes, but only when they choose to. Instead, they choose to double down on what made them successful: reliability, serenity, and building trust. Performance comes only when, and if, it doesn't compromise their more rooted fundamentals. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real reason why Lexus, despite not chasing trends or numbers, remains loved by car purists worldwide. If you've made it this far, let us know what you think and leave us a like if you've enjoyed it or found this video somewhat informative. As always, thanks for watching.